Hi, welcome to Bookie. Today we will unlock the book First Things First. The core idea of First Things First is simple: put the important things at the forefront. You might think, well, I know what that means, one sentence is enough, why do you need to write a whole book about that? In fact, first things are not as obvious as they initially sound. Which things are the most important ones? Everyone feels differently at different times, in different situations, in different moods. For example, what you think is important when you're in love is different from what you think is important when you're trying to achieve your company's KPIs. We may know what's important at work, but we might not know what's important in life. What's more, when we do know what things are the important ones, we don't necessarily act as though they are. Think about the resolutions we make every new year. Can you say they are not important things? They're all important, but they are not implemented, and they fade away after a while. The fourth generation of time management in this book teaches us that sticking to important things doesn't all depend on motivation or willpower. It has to be right and in line with our life's mission statement. The book also emphasizes that in addition to managing ourselves, it is even more important to learn how to lead ourselves. This book's author Stephen Covey expanded the concept of first things first derived from a chapter in another one of his books, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. You can also find the Bookie of that book on our platform. In that prominent book on growth, the suggestion to put first things first is introduced as the third of 7 habits. In Covey's opinion, that particular habit was not discussed enough in the original book, so he expanded it into a system of its own, forming the standalone book First Things First. Covey, a famous American management guru, was named one of the 25 most influential Americans by Time magazine. Some media also regard him as the mentor who will release everyone's potential. He has earned the title of contemporary thinker, and he has come up with many highly philosophical proposals regarding life. At the same time, Covey is down to earth, giving practical tools and techniques for executing his ideas. There are also 2 co-authors, A. Roger Merrill and Rebecca R. Merrill. As Covey's collaborators, they add a wealth of real case studies, as well as their own insights into the book's First Things First philosophy. The couple also wrote Life Matters, Creating a Dynamic Balance of Work, Family, Time, and Money, a book on the relationship between work and life that is also worth reading. Next, we will explain the essential aspects of First Things First in 3 parts. Part 1, From Managing Yourself to Leading Yourself. Part 2, Leading Yourself by Following the First Things First principle. Part 3, Life in Quadrant 2, The Best Way to Manage Yourself. Let's firstly explore Part 1, From Managing Yourself to Leading Yourself. When we speak of managing yourself, you probably think about making a plan and then meticulously monitoring yourself in order to manage your time well and get the job done. We are sure you have experienced the result of such a scenario. You're probably no stranger to time management either. There is an implicit concept in time management that we don't do things efficiently because we don't use our time wisely. If we had a perfect time management method, it could help us remember what should be done and remind us of what has not been done, increasing our efficiency. Under this premise, various time management methods have repeatedly emerged and undergone 4 generations of evolution. The first generation of time management emphasizes reminders, suggesting that a good memory is still not as good as bad notes. It manages reminders in the form of memos, notes, and to-do lists. The second generation is based on planning and preparation, adding calendars to the to-do lists. With deadlines adding as a time factor and with some planning elements, the second generation of time management is able to handle more complex tasks. The third generation of time management emphasizes planning, prioritizing, and controlling. This step introduces values and goals into planning, giving it a slight hint that it can be used for bigger schemes. This is now the mainstream method of